Welcome back. So your side copped another pasting. That 5-year rebuild turned into a 15-year white elephant. Season's gone on about 4 months too long. Yep. Fear not, because Finey and I are willing receptacles for all your football angst. We're channeling all that rage and expelling it in a minute-long projectile vomit of football fury that is the footyology rant-off. We're dressing that up with a bit of reverb, so don't spare me the weekly complaint about that.
No. I'm just thinking of you in different terms now.
Why?
As a willing receptacle.
Yeah.
I went out with a willing receptacle.
Okay. Let's move on. All right, I believe I'm up first, so you'll be counting me in.
Okay. Let's do it this way. Gold, silver, bronze.
I don't know about these Olympics, Finey. Rio's supposed to be bringing us the best of the best in world sport, but all we seem to be getting is world-class whinging. All this bitching it up about the standard of the accommodation and whining about the state of the showers. A posse of former footballers wouldn't have let that get to them. Leaking taps? God, some of these people should have tried the visitors' room shower cubicles at Moorabbin in the 1980s. There were no taps. The only leak in those things came from a teammate taking a whiz on your leg. Well, at least it was warm, which was more than you got at Waverley. They reckon the media facilities are Spartan. Clearly, they never tried doing a press conference in the race at Victoria Park with 100 pissed-off Collingwood fans gobbing on them from above. I did, Finey, and I can tell you it was character building, if a little expensive on the dry cleaning front. The athletes in Rio reckon they're too cramped. What do they reckon it was like for Richmond players at Punt Road in the old days, sharing their lockers with colonies of rats and the odd dead possum? Imagine if we'd sent the likes of David Rees-Jones and Ronnie Andrews to Rio, Finey. You reckon they'd put up with those posturing US sprinters for 2 seconds? They would have stopped mid-track to give them a roundhouse right, done a Stephen Bradbury, and still had time to break the world record for sculling cans afterwards. They're the sort of Olympics I'd like to see, along with Warwick Capper and Mark Jackson in the coxless pairs rowing. They'd piss in the gold and be the first Australian winners not to have English as their native tongue.
Pretty good.
The Football Olympics.
The footy. Hey, do you remember the footy Olympics?
I do, it was great. Bring it back.
I used to have this thing with our mates that at the start of the season we used to get the ladders from the banks.
Yeah.
And we didn't know what order to put them in. So it was agreed with all of us that it would be based on the footy Olympics. And Melbourne always used to win. Do you know why?
Because they were crap at playing footy?
Because there was a piggyback race, and the piggyback race was always won by Peter Keenan carrying Paul Callery.
That's a good horse and jockey combination. All right, we've got to get on with it. 3, 2, 1, rant!
I was wrong. Arthur Fonzarelli couldn't say it, but Mark Fine can. Last week I said Brisbane Lions don't deserve priority picks. Well, I was in Adelaide on the weekend and I saw the Brisbane Lions, and believe me, they deserve priority picks. I mean, what sort of team have they got? Daniel Ricks was poor. The other Daniel has no merit. Tom's hardly the belle of the ball, and this season Dane rarely beams. Apparently they've got all these good young sort of key position players, but I don't love Shaki yet. They've got a kid down the back called Matt Hammelman, or maybe I'm confusing him with GWS's Harrison Himmelberg, or maybe just the Hindenburg. Oh my God, the humanity. He's terrible. Hipwood plays at centre-half forward. What is Hipwood? Sounds like a part of Collingwood being reclaimed by hipsters. As for Lewis Taylor, they just threw a chunk of money at him. He dropped it, and instead of going for the money, he's just concentrating on what he prefers doing, and that's belting up cars during summer. I mean, this seed team needs picks. Give them priority picks. Give them another team from Melbourne like they did 20 years ago. Merge them with the Tigers. What do you get when you put a tiger and a lion together? A liger? They're impotent. That's it. The Brisbane Ligers. They should be competitive for about 3 weeks.
A liger or a tie-on?
They can't breed.
Oh, well,
they're impotent.
I'm glad you could admit you were wrong.
I was wrong. Give them everything, mate. They are something else.
Quick, how do you vote on this week's rant?
Oh, it's pretty simple. I mean, this week's round is a very easy vote. Tonight, you'll fill out your census form. In the box marked religion, cross out religion and do footyology rants. Just write that instead of religion and put in Roko or Finey. So, when it comes to tallying up our religious choices in this country, there'll be 2 gods, me or you, We'll see who wins.
And we'll tap into their database for the next 2 decades, like every government agency will be.
Oh, so you're another Xenophon xenophobe?
No, I'm going to fill it in. I like filling in stuff online.
First he took away the pokies, now he's taking away the census.
Look, the move was a big move, and in the end, it was great to live up there for 8 or 9 years, whatever it was. A different life in those days in Sydney in that, well, not that it's that much different, we were very much, no one knew much about us.